912 group. We're one of those conservative groups that you hear about all over the United States, and we meet every other Thursday in Fort Myers. What we're going to do right now is we're going to have a segment on who is the Tea Party. It's critical that you understand what the Tea Party movement is in this country. There's a whole lot of misinformation that comes out from the liberal media, from the conservative media, from individual politicians. It's very confusing. Our goal tonight is to nail this so that everybody in this room and everybody watching will know not only what the Tea Party really is, but where they fit in. The first thing I want to go through is, what is the Tea Party not? It is not a segment of the Republican Party. It is not a third party. There's still just basically two parties. It is not a third party. It's not attached to a politician. It's not attached to a group of people. It's not an individual. What the Tea Party is a conservative movement in this country that looks at what the proper role of government is in a free society. Now, what is the proper role? Well, if you believe in the Founding Fathers, we're talking about conservative principles. So, you're a member of the Tea Party if somewhere in your blood you believe conservative constitutional principles and what I also call conservative common sense, American common sense. There's a whole lot of people, they can't articulate everything that's in the Constitution, but they have American common sense. They know it's wrong to bail a company out that's failing. That's just part of your DNA here in America. You know that. You know it's wrong for a president to apologize for America. Now, I can best demonstrate this. I'm going to start like this. George, could you come up? First, I'm going to start with the two extremes. You can stand. Whoa. Come on over here. The reason we select George to hold the Founding Fathers sign, he was actually at the signing of the Constitution. So you could go over there. I'm not far. The Founding Fathers represent the absolute maximum freedom for an individual and the maximum, or I'm sorry, the limited amount of government. All right, Mike, you come over here. We didn't rehearse this, otherwise Mike would have been up here. Would you go and pick up that sign and show everybody? All right. That's the complete opposite of the Founding Fathers. Obama, in his own words, has said the federal government does not have enough power. The individuals have too much. And he's doing everything he can to change that. So I just want everybody to see the two extremes. All right, one believes in the central planner. The other believes, no, there's very, very limited things the government should do, and everything else should be with the people. So if my other volunteers would pop up here. Okay, sir, if you would take that on that X. Okay, oh, that X. Okay. You know what? I'm getting a little bit out. I'm sorry. You guys just back up a second. Next to the Founding Fathers, I put down three people that we can kind of identify with. I think it's difficult to grasp the Founding Fathers, not their principles or not the Constitution, but their personality. I mean, it was 250 some years ago, so it's a long time, and it's just a different way. They had a different moral system, different way of looking at things. But we on Ron Paul, who's a current politician, and is very close to the Founding Fathers. If Ron Paul was in charge, our government would probably be a third or a half of the size it is right now. The Department of Education would be gone, and the EPA would be gone. Milton Friedman, who died just a few years ago, the absolute champion of the free market. You can see 100 of his videos. He believed in the government stay now. You know, one of his classic lines was that when a private enterprise fails, it goes out of business. When a government enterprise fails, it's expanded. And Thomas Sowell, he's alive. He has a culinary degree, a brilliant economist. He too thinks a whole lot like the. Now, I would love if we as a nation could get there. But we've never been there in my lifetime, and I don't think we're going to get. And I think it is possible down the road to get our government, our president, and the majority of people in this country in agreement with that. You can come over. Stand on that X. Ronald Reagan Republic. I'd say the majority of conservative people in this country probably identify with him. Okay? People feel that if we could get back to Ronald Reagan, we'd be okay. I don't think that. To go to the right of that, perhaps we can get somewhere between Ronald Reagan and Ron Paul. But most conservatives would certainly be happy if we could at least get that far. My next volunteer, come on up. As you can see, we're going from the Founding Fathers all the way over to the other way. This is what I call JFK Democrats. JFK Democrats, those are your World War II vets. Those are the children of your World War II vets. Many Vietnam veterans also. Right? Most of you know, president in the early 60s. Okay, now we're going to start going down the slippery slope of liberalism. Joe or Jim? As soon as I said the slippery slope of liberalism, they don't want to come up. Go over here. There you go. This is George Bush and John McCain. This is when it started. Now, and I'm not saying this to rip into them. It wasn't their fault. It was our fault. I was one of those people that looked at George Bush and John McCain, and I compared him to Bill Clinton. I should have been comparing him to Milton Friedman and the Founding Fathers. And I know I wasn't the only one that did this. Okay? But this is what happened. Now, some of you may say, well, wait a minute, maybe you should switch these two. I don't really think so, but even if it's in the argument, that should tell you all you need to know. All right? Next. You're not going to like this one. All right. Over there, that X. All right. This is what I call the 2010 moderate Democrats. And the reason I put the 2010 there was because there's a big difference between someone calling themselves a moderate Democrat today and 50 years ago. Now you might say, well, okay, who would be in that group? I would put Joe Lieberman. I would put Olympia Snowe. I would put Susan Collins. There's a whole lot of people in this country that identify themselves as 2010 moderate Democrats. Okay, who's left? You're not going to be happy with this one. There's an X over there for you. Take it over. This is a far left. The Clintons, Reid, Pelosi, Ted Kennedy, Dick Durbin, Chuck Schumer, Barbara Boxer. Those are just some of the usual suspects. You can add your own names. This is the far left. Okay? These are the people who are basically running Congress, running the country. These are the people that approve the bailouts, the health care, the stimulus, the whole thing. Now, the reason I brought all this up here was everybody in this room and everybody watching can look up here and probably put yourself somewhere along the political spectrum. And some of you may go, well, you know, most of the time I'm over there with Milton Friedman on a lot of things, But sometimes I'm over here and whatever. That's my point. That's my point. This is America. From the 2010 moderate Democrats all the way over here to the Founding Fathers, that's 70–80% of this country. All the people that identify, except for the far left and our current president, have some portion of Tea Party blood in them. It's in them. How do you think Scott Brown got elected? He got elected because some 2010 moderate Democrats and a bunch of JFK Democrats said they had enough. Never forget the significance of that election. They rose up and they said, that's it. Stop pushing us around. Stop it. Don't try to jam something down our throats that's 2,000 pages. Don't stand there and tell me that my premiums are going to go down when you add 30, 40 million. Stop it. And they went and voted. They had, in that particular instance, a lot of Tea Party blood in them. Now, did those people that voted for Scott Brown, do they have as much in them as the people that identify with Milton Friedman? No. But they're getting there. The liberal press and the Democratic leadership would have you believe that from the 2010 moderate Democrats all the way to the Founding Fathers, we're the nuts. We're the wackos. No, we're the majority. 70–80% of this country has that Tea Party DNA in them. These JFK Democrats, these World War II veterans, how do you think they feel about a president apologizing for America? You're all in the Tea Party. It's just to what degree? The minority, the very small minority, is those last two signs over there. Now they've got Congress. They got the presidency. They've got the universities. And they got the media. They got a lot of power right now. But no way are they anywhere close to the majority of people in this country. So what I'd like to do right now is, I need three of you to kind of get down like this in front. You're a little old, I don't want you to do that. Just kind of get down in front with your son. It'll only be for a few seconds. Okay, come on in. All right, go ahead and get down. Whoop. Okay. All right. Come on over. No, I wanted you up, actually, George. Okay. I want you two underneath the exit sign. Now take a good look at this. Do not let this vision leave your mind, your sight, or your heart. This is America right here. This is we the people. We the people can send these people to the exit. Not all of them, but we can certainly do a pretty good job this coming November. Once you get it through your mind that this is the majority of America, you'll be able to understand where you are in the Tea Party. You'll be able to articulate to other people. And you won't have to get it all confused when you hear the media calling this group of people the kooks and the radicals. They're over here. So, I hope this helps. We're going to end this part of our program, and then we're going to go on to some other things. So, thank you for watching.